Hi, and welcome to this episode of John's Model Kit Review. In today's fun classic model kit review, we are looking at Tamiya's 1/48 scale Fieseler Fi-103 or V-1 Buzz Bomb. This is Tamiya kit number 61052. The V-1 was effectively an unguided cruise missile. It was the world's first cruise missile. Several thousand V-1s were launched by the Germans in the later stages of World War II, and most of the targets were British and Dutch ports. After the war, the Ford company in the U.S. copied the V-1, and in U.S. service it was called the JB-2 Loon. In this model kit review, we're going to be looking at the built-up kit. We'll also take a look at the kit instructions. I'll talk about the paints I used to finish this build, and we'll talk about any potential problem areas to watch out for. In reality, this is two separate kits, the first being the dolly for the V-1 and the second being the V-1 itself. And in construction, you really need to handle them as two separate kits. The instructions are actually on the back of the kit box, and they're broken up into two sections, the lower section being construction and the upper section being the painting and marking guide. I started construction by working on the dolly. The only difficulty I had in the construction of the dolly was where parts 11 and 12, where those two parts joined together, I had a nasty seam and I had to use putty and then sand those smooth. I painted the dolly RLM 66 and then painted the wheels tire black. And then I gave the entire dolly a thin black acrylic wash. Next, I constructed the V-1 itself. Construction here is super straightforward. It goes together very easily. I would recommend cutting off the propeller on the front of the V-1 and then reattaching it after assembly as one of the final steps. Mine kept breaking off and I ended up losing one of the propeller blades and had to replace it with a small shaped piece of plastic. The only issue I had in construction besides the propeller was at the wing roots. I had a small gap there and my method for filling that gap didn't work out as well as I would have liked. That may be self-induced. I haven't read that other people had issues there, but you're warned. Take your time and get that join as good as you can. The color callouts in the instructions are for Tamiya paints. I don't really care for this. I would rather have the RLM numbers when I'm painting a German aircraft. But the RLM numbers that I used on this kit were RLM 71 green for the upper color and RLM 76 light blue for the underside color. Once the V-1 was painted, I clear coated it with a coat of Future or PFM, and then I added the decals. After that, I added a satin clear coat finish, and I weathered the V-1 just a little bit to bring out the shadows. Remember, these only flew once, so heavy weathering is not really appropriate for these models. The biggest complaint with this kit is in the shape accuracy of it, and although nobody's going to mistake this kit for anything else when it's sitting on the shelf, the shape of the intake for the pulse jet engine and the shape of the nose on the bomb section of it really aren't correct. I really had a lot of fun building this kit. It was very simple in construction, it's a very quick build, and it makes a great conversation piece on the shelf. I can recommend this kit to modelers of all skill levels. The simple color scheme and the low parts count make this a quick and easy weekend build. Well, I'd love to know what you guys think. If any of you have built the Tamiya 1/48 scale V-1 previously, please feel free to comment in the comment section below. As always, I hope you found this video entertaining and informative, and until next time, model on.